All right, welcome back to the channel. Terence Crawford is on one for real. One, he lowballs Kell Brook. Two, he blames boxing fans and calls them top rank haters because they want to see him fight top level competition. There's not a lot of room left for Terence Crawford, man. He's out here looking terrible. And the more he talks, the worse he looks. Let's talk about that in this video. All right. Welcome back to the channel. Terence Crawford, for non-international boxing's former #1 pound for pound fighter in the world, can't do it anymore. Can't do it. Comes out and says that the reason he is getting so much criticism from boxing fans is because they're top rank haters. Now I know Terence Crawford is listening. Now I know without a doubt that you're listening. That is ridiculous. On top of that, information came out that Terence Crawford and Bob Arum, or whoever made the offer, offered Kell Brook $1.5 million to fight him. That, my friend, is not a serious offer to try to make a fight. If it is the first offer, then, and it can go up significantly, but if it's 1.5, it's not going to get to 3, right? Which is the very least that I would expect Kell Brook to fight a guy like Terence Crawford for. You are not going to get a top level welterweight, at least I don't think, to fight Terence Crawford for $1.5 million. I think that is a low ball, and I think it is an attempt to get, if this is real, if it's real, an attempt to say that they made an offer to Kell Brook and that Kell Brook turned it down, so that they can go on and say, we checked that box. Now, Kell Brook really didn't want the fight because he asked for too much money. Now we're going to go ahead and fight somebody like a Josecito Lopez, a Luis Collazo, somebody like that falls right into the line of a Jeff Horn, a Jose Benavidez, a Amir Khan, or an Igas Calvinakis, or a Julius Ndungo. You're going to get that level of fighter. You're not going to get a serious fight, a serious challenge at Terence Crawford. Now, Terence Crawford says the reason that people are saying this is because they're top-rank haters. Grow up, man. Grow up. It's time, okay? It's time. You're 33 years old. Grow up. I don't care how much money you got in your pocket, because Adrian Bronner got a lot of money in his pocket too, and he needs to grow up. Terence Crawford needs to grow up. The reason why people are making or having an issue with you is because of who you fought, not because you fight with Top Rank. It's because who you fought. Period. If you had fought, if you were with Top Rank, or it doesn't matter who you were with, if you fought Josecito Lopez, matter of fact, let's just go to another example. Is Leo Santa Cruz with Top Rank? No. Leo Santa Cruz gets every bit of the smoke that you're getting from the same fan base, and he is with the PBC. What's the explanation for the heat that Leo Santa Cruz got for ducking a top-rank fighter named Guillermo Rigondeaux? Or after he left Top Rank, he became a Rock Nation fighter. So people jumping all over Leo Santa Cruz, who was a Top Rank fighter at one point, and then became a Rock Nation guy at another point, who Leo Santa Cruz refused to fight. People were out about that. Was it because Leo Santa Cruz was with the PBC that they were getting on Leo Santa Cruz for not fighting somebody? No, it was not. When Keith Thurman refused to fight Errol Spence Jr. and took a 2-year layoff where people were not believing whether he was injured or not injured, were they blaming the PBC? Was it because he was from the PBC that people were on top of and getting on Keith Thurman? No, it's because he wouldn't fight Errol Spence Jr. That's it. It didn't have anything to do with who the promoter was. Now, the fact that you are with Top Rank can explain why you're not fighting somebody. And that's why most of the conversation was like, oh, it's really not on top. It's really not on Terence Crawford. It's really on Top Rank. You know how Top Rank does. Top Rank likes in-house fights. And they're not risky gamblers. Okay? They're going to play the odds because they are a slow and steady wins the race type of organization. You're not going to have them putting guys out there in fights that they don't think that they can win, where they can recoup their investment or continue to make money into the future. That is how Top Rank operates. But the only reason anybody mentions that is because that's how Top Rank does with multiple fighters. Top Rank didn't allow Regis Prograis to fight Jose Ramirez like the WBC had ordered, and went on ahead and had Jose Ramirez fight a series of in-house fights. That's what Top Rank does. And that people say that's not hatred. That's what Top Rank does. Nobody was getting on Top Rank or lamenting that Top Rank made fights like Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns, or Thomas Hearns and Roberto Duran, or those fights, the Hearns, Leonard, Duran, Hagler stuff in the 1980s. Nobody was tripping on Bob Arum and all that stuff because they were making good fights. They were good fights. Those are top level fights. Nobody's out there, or we're not, at least I'm not out there hating on Top Rank because they're making the Vasily Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez fight, because that's a fight where Lomachenko is taking some risk and Teofimo Lopez is taking some risk. And at the end of it, you're going to get 3 belts. 3 of the belts in the hand of one person, or 4 if you consider the franchise belt. People aren't getting on Top Rank about that. People aren't blasting Jose Ramirez for Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor if they fight, crapping on that fight. That's a good fight. But you're not giving people those type of fights. And even if it's you that's for the reason, originally it was like people thought it was Top Rank. That's what we were like, it's Top Rank, because because Terence Crawford chose to sign with Top Rank. You knew what Top Rank was going to do. But once Terence Crawford started opening his mouth and saying out of his mouth things that were like, come on, man. You can't tell me you're not going to fight Gary Russell Jr. You're not going to fight Ray Robinson. You're not going to fight Keith Thurman. You're not going to fight Sean Porter and have people not look funny at you. You just said you're not going to fight half of the top fighters in the welterweight division because you some prima donna superstar. People aren't going to put up with that, man. People are not just going to be okay with that. That's not Top Rank hate, dude. People are not making up your box rec. I'm not making up the fact that you have not fought anybody that's serious competition. Nobody is asking. Errol Spence Jr. versus Jose Benavidez would be laughed at, man. Laughed at by everybody. Nobody is going to give Errol Spence Jr. a pass for a voluntary fight. Voluntary against Jose Benavidez. Nobody is going to give giving Errol Spence Jr. credit for an voluntary fight against Amir Khan. Or the Aegis Kalvanakis was mandated. So, hey man, it is what it is. But your voluntaries, he can't help. He can't help Jeff Horn because Jeff Horn is the guy that had the belt. So that's not a choice he made. That was the guy that had the belt. So, but still, he's not a very good fighter. So that even though Terence Crawford shouldn't get blamed for fighting him, dude, that don't mean that people aren't going to count that as another fight that it wasn't a good fight. Right? And then Terence points to things like he's undefeated. He was undefeated. So what if he was undefeated? There's a whole bunch of manufactured fighters that are undefeated. Whole bunch of manufactured fighters that are undefeated. and a bunch of very good fighters that are not undefeated. Egis Kalvinakis was undefeated. Sean Porter has been defeated. That's not the same level of fighter. And just telling people out your mouth that he's undefeated, so ooh-wee. No, dude, that's some smoke and mirror stuff, and you hanging out with Bob Arum too much, man. People are boxing fans. They see who you're fighting, and you're not fighting anybody. And a $1.5 million offer to Kell Brook sounds like they're trying to keep the fight from happening. Now, you can say Corona, is the reason. There's not going to be fans. There's not, whatever. Okay, sure. Still, it's still a crappy fight. It's still a crappy fight. So, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on. You're still going to get a crappy, Kell Brook isn't a crappy fight. Kell Brook is like the lowest level of acceptable fight. But look, man, no, Terence Crawford, man. You guys got to fight somebody, man. Because people are out here calling you the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world, been supporting you for years. You never acted like you care about your fan base supporting you, saying things like they're going to support you regardless, and then you prima donna 5-6 fighters in a row? Nah, man. Dude, not everybody's from Omaha, man. Not everybody is going to support that dude, and you don't get unquestioned support in the boxing community, especially in the American boxing community, when you're not fighting anybody. And you won't give other fighters good chance. You're not giving other good fighters chances to prove that they're better than you. You're just sitting on an imaginary throne that you got, it's not real, man, because you've not fought anybody in the welterweight division, and you really didn't fight anybody very good in the 140-pound division. So it just is what it is, man. You're going to have to live with it or change it. Anyway, you guys let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Leave your comment, like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And with that, I'm out. Peace.